What's up, Brandon Phantom? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're about to get into my October first time watches Tiermaker list. Saw a lot of movies in October, gotta say, and it's kind of funny. For the first time in my life, I've made October completely, almost entirely, all horror movies that I watched. Obviously, there's a few in there that going to the theater and seeing a few new releases, but yeah. So yeah, let's get into the first time watches of October, and let's rank each one of them and see what's the best and what's the worst. All right, so Dracula. This one is actually the version with Christopher Lee as Dracula. If you guys don't know who Christopher Lee is, he is the one who played Saruman from The Lord of the Rings. I just thought this was okay. It's not the most memorable thing. I do love like the very like Technicolor coloration to the film. It like really popped out from the screen, which was interesting. But all in all, it was just okay. Felt a little like it dragged on a little bit, but what can you do? Then we have the latest film from Netflix, the prequel to Army of the Dead, Army of Thieves, which I thought was good. It started off really good, but it just went down to good. Like the first 40 minutes is so entertaining and like really gets to you. But like the next 40, 50 minutes go down a little bit for me. I get it. It just started to lose me a little bit. Didn't lose me all, but it's still a good movie. There was just a lot of things that popped out at first, and then they kept on doing it, and it just didn't work as much as it was working at the beginning. So, but yeah, it's a good movie. I recommend it. And then we have Last Night in Soho, a highly anticipated film from the beginning of this year, and I could not wait to see this last year, but with it getting delayed and whatever, man. But this movie is great. It really is great. You got Anya Taylor-Joy. You have Edgar Wright at the director's chair. Absolutely love that because I am a huge fan of Baby Driver. It really put me on the map for him with Hot Fuzz as being my third favorite film of his now, with Last Night in Soho being the second and Baby Driver being the first. I need to rewatch Shaun of the Dead because I had heard so many great things about it, and I guess I had a little too high expectations that weren't met with the film. So I really got to rewatch Shaun of the Dead. But Last Night in Soho, the cinematography is beautiful, the music cues and all that, the editing. I love the way there's some shots in this that you ask yourself how the heck did they do that? But yeah. And then up next is Friday the 13th, The Beginning. Trying to remember, for all the Friday the 13th, I saw a bunch of them this month. I'm only breaking one of them because I felt the same way that I did with all of them. They're just extremely meh. They're cliche. They're, it's almost the exact same thing every single time. And it's just yeah, it's a different type of kill, but it's the exact same thing. But it's kind of when I'm saying that, it's kind of that. Not really, but for the Final Destination films, the Final Destination films are fantastic and very enjoyable. But Friday the 13th for me, the first one was good. The rest of them so far that I've seen are just extremely meh. And then we have Parasite, which I thought was great. Definitely was worth all the hype because I don't know why I waited so long to watch this movie because the hype when it won both best foreign picture and best picture at the Oscars, that was something else. But yeah, the cinematography is beautiful. There's that one shot with the house and whatever that is fantastic. The story and twists were interesting, but man, And then we have Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Again, like kind of like Friday the 13th, these Nightmare movies, it just feels all the same, and it's just over and over and over and cliche, and it is. I mean, it is what it is, but and then we have Dracula's Daughter, which is supposed to be a sequel to the original Dracula with Bela Lugosi. Except for Bela Lugosi doesn't show up in this one, which is rather disappointing. And with Dracula's Daughter, it wasn't really all that memorable. I found it okay because it was worth seeing once, and like saying, hey, I actually saw it. And then we have Dune, which it's practically a masterpiece. I had a couple of problems with it, but it is a fantastic near masterpiece. Like, the epic scope is amazing. Denis Villeneuve's direction is, fantastical as always. Because I'm a huge fan of Prisoners. I'm a huge fan of Arrival, which is also fantastic. Seriously, like, if you have not seen a Denis Villeneuve film, you need to. Like, Blade Runner 2049, some of the best cinematography you could see for a film. But this is on an epic scope. The cinematography, the acting from Timothée Chalamet is fantastic. But yeah. And then we have No Time to Die, which I thought was great. Man, like, No Time to Die was the first Bond film I ever saw in theaters, and I will say it was quite the experience in IMAX. Like, it's probably my second favorite Bond film out of all of them. With Skyfall being the first, and then No Time to Die, and then Casino Royale. Those are the top three for the Bond films of Daniel Craig. And the James Bond films, all in all. And I thought it was great. The story was well, and the way they sent off the character was great. Looking forward to who they cast next for James Bond. The Last Duel. This movie is so underseen. Like, it has Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. You have Jodie Comer, who is just a powerhouse right now, and she even might get nominated for a role in this. And The Last Duel needs to be seen by more people. It's just one of those movies that is epic on a small scale for some reason, because Ridley Scott is a fantastic director. He directed Gladiator, and that movie was fantastic. And The Last Duel is just on par with those medieval type films, and it's really is. I could rave about this movie a lot. And then we have The Bad Seed. I almost want to put this in Masterpiece. I almost really do, but I'm not. The Bad Seed is a film from the 50s about a girl who is thought to have killed a kid her own age, because of and like her mother is worried, like, did she actually kill him? Did she really do it? And then she tries to really cover up stuff and whatever. It is a fantastic movie, and probably one of the best child performances in a film I've ever seen. Like, man, The Bad Seed I highly recommend. And then we have Halloween 4. These I like a bit more than Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. It feels more layered for some odd reason. I don't know why, but all the Halloween movies I've seen up to there, just feel less cliche and more story to it. But yeah, and then we have Antichrist, which I thought was good. Very interesting movie. It's kind of controversial. There's a few things that happen that I'm like, whoa, and it was extremely an uncomfortable experience too. I don't really recommend it, and yet I do kind of want to recommend it. And then we have Anna Taylor-Joy is like kind of debut role that made her be seen by more people. I thought it was really good. The Witch, beautiful cinematography with its great palette tone. A24 does it again. There was one little problem I had with it, was the ending. I had the same problem with Hereditary and the same problem with Midsummer. Like, the endings to these make me really uncomfortable and just like kind of throw me off a little bit. But besides that, The Witch was really good. And Anya Taylor-Joy is a powerhouse in that. And then we have Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I did not care about this movie at all. At all. Like, seriously, like, it's way too short. It feels rushed. There's a lot of action that just is just so hard pounding to your head. It just isn't that great. But I will say the end credits scene was the best thing out of that. But besides that, the movie is just forgettable. The first one, though, has grown on me. So, but yeah. Anyways, The Faculty I thought was okay. It started off really good. It just went down for me. It's fun when like the first 30, 40 minutes, and then it just goes down. It just feels generic in every sort of way. The performances were good. The story, though, it just seemed a little kind of cheesy and silly at times. Just thought it was okay. And then we have the host, Bong Joon-ho, the director of Parasite, up here. I thought this was good. It was interesting with the way it went down. Like, there was some effects that were like, but the story overall was fun. And it was kind of cool seeing like like a modern day like The Thing going down. Not as good as The Thing, but yeah. And then we have Psycho 4, The Beginning. I actually finished the Psycho series, except for the shot-for-shot remake that I hear is absolutely awful. I thought it was okay. Definitely interesting the way, it tied loose ends and came around from beginning to end, and it was really, really interesting and neat. But besides that, there's really nothing much else to the film. And then we have The Conjuring, which I thought was good. I think I waited a little too long to watch this because I had heard so much great things about it, and I mean, it's turned into a franchise and all that, but I thought it was good. Actually, some really good scares in this, but a few other scares that like I had been spoiled on, sadly. And then we have Day of the Dead. I thought it was just meh. Not that memorable, typical cliche and all that, but yeah. Then we have Vampira, which was an interesting silent film. It's actually really good. Big fan of silent films, if you know me by now. And I love looking at like the way horror and like vampires and all that kind of stuff were looked at way back in the day. It's very different from now. And it's very cool. So, and like, I thought this was great. It really, really was. It's one of those movies that stands the test of time, I feel. So, anyways, that was all the films I saw and my thoughts on them. But now we're going to rank them from worst to best. Obviously, Venom 2 is the worst. I would definitely say Nightmare, then Friday the 13th, then Day of the Dead, and then from meh to okay, I would definitely go Dracula's Daughter, Psycho 4. Definitely would say I would definitely go The Faculty next, and then Dracula, then Halloween 4. I would say The Host, then The Antichrist, then The Conjuring, then Army of Thieves and good. Seriously, like Army of Thieves is great, like the first 40 minutes, and then it just goes down a little bit. but it's still good. Then we have in the really good section, The Witch. And then I would say we have Vampira. And then I would definitely say, this is going to be a hard one. I would say The Last Duel next after Vampira. And then I would go Parasite. And then I would say No Time to Die. Then I would say The Bad Seed. And weirdly, as much as I love Dune, I actually think Last Night in Soho was the best movie I saw in the month of October. Like Dune and Last Night in Soho are like almost tied, with Last Night in Soho like edging out Dune by just a little bit. Like, man. And I saw Dune twice and in IMAX. I'm almost fighting myself on that one. I'm sure I would go back and forth, but for the video, I'm going to go boldly and say Last Night in Soho edges out Dune just a little bit, just to be kind of controversial. But yeah, so Venom being the worst, Last Night in Soho barely edging out Dune to be the best of October. So yeah, anyways guys, that was my video of my first time watches of October, ranking them from worst to best, and yeah, so if you are entertained by that video, you can go ahead and check out my channel for more of these previous ones if you missed out on those. So if you made it to the end of the video and you are new here, you can go ahead and check out my channel for other videos like this, as well as trailer reactions, movie reviews, top 10s, and a bunch of other film-related content. If you are a returning subscriber, I really, really appreciate you. If you are new to subscribing, do not forget to click the bell to get notified of future videos. I have a Patreon if you would like to support me. My patrons got early access to this video. So if you would like to support me over there, you can. You'll get early access to videos and all that kind of stuff. I also have a Twitter where you can follow me. I give updates to the vids as well as me talk about my favorite movie news. And I have a Discord that you can join and interact with me and a bunch of other people. So just want to say one last time, I appreciate you all. Stay random.